Yeah, we are live now, Krishna. You can start.
Okay. Hello all. Welcome back to one more session of Automation Squad. In today's session, we'll discuss about advanced scheduler using Cron. Firstly, Cron is a software utility. It is a software which is in Unix operating system, and mainly it is used for time-based scheduling. It provides highly customizable, that is with these customizable stars, like these are not stars, and uh, this that is what cron means, and the cron expressions are used to configure instances of cron trigger. A cron trigger is nothing but a subclass of quad start trigger, so that was the actual class. A cron expression consists of 6 or 7 sub expressions which are called fields, and each field describes individual detail of that particular schedule. So these fields are separated by white spaces. So these are the separated fields, and it can contain any of the allowed values with various combinations of the allowed characters for that particular field. So this is all about basic cron expression. And so for each of that, so if you see here, these are the space separated fields, and each field represents a particular description. For example, the first star describes seconds, and it is a mandatory field. And the allowed values are, as we already know, like we'll have 60 seconds, so it starts with 0. It will be 0 to 59. And the special characters which are allowed are comma, hyphen, star, and slash. So these I will be explaining in coming slide. So, and the next star represents minutes, and it is also a mandatory field. So we already know that we'll have 60 minutes per hour. So same for that, 0 to 59, and same special characters. And these special characters, each character represents a particular separate description. And the next star represents hours, and it is also a mandatory field. So we'll have 24 hours. So the range can be 0 to 23, and all all the special characters are allowed here as well. And the next star represents day of the month, so it is also a mandatory field. So we'll have a maximum of 31 days in almost every month, so the range will be 1 to 31. And this here we'll have some more special characters. So this L and W will also be explained in coming slide. So L will be like last working day of that particular month, and W will be like the weekday of that month. And the next field represents month, so it is also a mandatory field. So we'll have 12 months, and these can be represented as either as a digit, or it can be mentioned as a string, with which will be like first 3 characters of that particular month. And all these are will be allowed for that particular field. And the next star represents day of the week, so it is also a mandatory field. So we'll have 7 days, so the range will be 1 to 7. And the same as months, it will be in, if you have to mention the in strings, it will be a first 3 characters of that particular week. And here also, like for week and month, we'll have last working days and last we'll have weekdays, so that these additional characters are there for these 2 fields. And the last field is for year, and this is not a mandatory field. This can be skipped in many places. So if the bot has to run, I mean if the schedule has to be triggered for every year, then we can just simply trigger this last field. And it can be blank, or it can be range. It can be range in years. And these are the special characters which are allowed. So here these are cron expressions, and the cron trigger will be a combination of these fields. So the cron trigger uses cron expressions which are able to create schedules, such as like 8 a.m. every Monday to Friday, like that, and 1:30 a.m. every last Friday of the month, like that. Cron expressions are they are powerful, but they are confusing as well. So these are the characters which are used inside the expression. So each character represents a particular description. So firstly, star represents it indicates all values for that particular given field. So for example, so this will be our table. So these are the fields which I explained before. And for example, if for the star, if uh, if everything is a star, So now it will be like for every second, doesn't matter like if it is 0th second or first second, doesn't matter. So for every second, for every minute, for every hour, it will be, the schedule will trigger. So that's what hashtag means. Hashtag represents every field, every value, all values simply, and the question mark will represents, it gets no value for that. No value will be specified if the question mark is been there. So maybe these will be mainly used for day of the month and day of the week fields. Okay, so these are the day of month and day of week fields. So question mark will be mainly used here. So for example, if the bot has to trigger 15th day of each month, then the schedule, then the cron expression will be 0th second, 0th minute, and then 0th hour. Since it has to run on 15th day, we mentioned 15, and month will be every month, and the day of week. So here, if you mention star, it will be for all values. And since it is question mark, it will be, there will be like, there will be no specified value. It can be any day of the week. So this will run for 15th day of the month. And whereas if we keep 2 here, if day of the month will be question mark, the star, and then 2. So this will run midnight each Monday. So this day of month represents Monday, and it will be midnight. So this is what question mark represents. And next character is hyphen, and it indicates the range of values. So for example, if we have to schedule a bot for in a particular range, like hours, if we take example of hours, if the bot has to run from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., then we go to hours place, and then we keep hyphen, and then 5 in 24 formats will be 17. So this will be the our trigger to run from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So that's about hyphen. And the next comma, it indicates the additional values. For example, if in a particular day, if in a particular week, the bot has to run on Monday and Tuesday, so then we directly mention it like Monday comma Wednesday comma Friday, like that. So the day of the week will be this field, and we can mention Monday comma Friday, like that. So this will run every Monday and Friday. So this should be 0, or this can be star. So this will be like for every hour. So that's about comma. And slash represents the increment of the given field. So for example, if bot has to run every 3 hours on Mondays, then so for every 3 hours, so that we go to hours page. So first we keep 0, and it has to increment like increment by 3. So we keep a slash, and then we keep a 3. So it starts with 0, and then again the second trigger will be like after 3rd hour, again it will be like 6th, and again it will be 9th, like that. It increments with 3. So that's what slash represents. And the next character will be L. So L, it is used to indicate the last. For example, it is mainly used for month, day of month field, because mainly we use in day of month we'll use like last day of month. So here it will be mainly used. So if we keep L there, bot will be running on last day of that particular month. So for example, if we have to add a trigger on 11 uh, 12, or else 11:59 minutes 59 seconds, then we directly keep 59, and then 59, and the hour should be 23, and the day of month will be L, so which represents the last day of the month. Then this would be star. It can be any day of that particular week. So this will trigger at 11 o'clock 59 minutes 59 seconds. So this is what L represents. And the next character will be week, W. So W will represent the weekday. So for example, if the bot has to run on first weekday of month, it will be like we mentioned 1W. It will be first weekday, and the 2W will be like second weekday. So it like that, it can be up to 5, like how many weekdays we have. It can be the maximum limit will be the number of weekdays of that particular week. So for example, if we have to run on midnight of nearest weekday to the 15th of every month, so then the schedule will be, so nearest weekday, so we keep seconds as 0, minutes as 0, hours as 0, and since it is 15th of week 15th weekday in W, and for example, if 15th is a Saturday, then it will trigger Friday, so it will go for nearest weekday. Whereas if 15th is a Sunday, then it will trigger Monday, like the nearest weekday of that particular month, of that particular week. So that will be the W, and then hash represents the occurrences. So for example, instead of, if the bot has to run on every Monday and that should happen only once per month, then we keep 6 hash. So for example, if the bot has to trigger at 5 p.m. on first Friday of every month, then we keep all zeros. First Friday at 5 p.m. So the 5 o'clock in 24 hours will be 17, and day of month will be, there will be no specified day of that particular month, so we keep question mark, and the month can be every month. And since we have to uh, only run on first Friday, we keep the digit of Friday will be 6, and the occurrence should be only once, so we keep hash and then 1. So this will be the hash. So these are the special characters which is being used in cron expression. And next, we'll like these cron expressions can be very complex. So if you see, these can be the basic cron expression, which is like every month, every day, like that, and it can be as complex as it can be. Like for example, the below expression, it will be like for first 0, and then for every fifth minute, and then for 14th minute, and then 14th hours, like that. So this comma, this January, if, we can also mention the uh, months which has for which bot has to run, and we can mention the range of the day of week. So it can be as complex as it can be. Like as I said earlier, it can be highly customizable. And a few of the important points to make sure. So firstly, the month of the weeks, so those are not case sensitive, so it can be a capital MON, and it can also be small MON. And the second point will be like, suppose support for specifying both a day of week and a day of month value is not like if we are mentioning day of week field and then day of month value, if both are mentioned, then it won't be like a complete expression, so this has to be taken care. And third point, daylight savings. So for example, while scheduling, you have to be very careful in selecting the time zones. So your day might be night for US, so it has to be taken care when the schedule is being created. And so the main characters in cron expression are question mark and star, which represents the day of week and then day of month fields. So these we have to pay more attention on these the effects of these two characters. So that's one of the main important point. Okay, so now we can see a live example. So we can connect to UiPath orchestrator. So I've already connected to that. Okay, so in UiPath, the triggers will be on automations, or else you can directly navigate from here, triggers. And then this is one of the sample trigger which I've already added. If a new one has to be added, then you can click on add new trigger. Then you can just keep sample name test, and then you have to, this will be the main point, like you have to select the required time zone, and I'll keep UTC for now. And these are the a uh, few of the fields which are already been given from UiPath. So you can, if the bot has to run for every 1 minute, for every 5 minutes, you can already by default you can select from here by selecting these fields. You can select weekly, and you can select the day of the week for which the bot has to trigger. And in order to keep the cron expression, we go for advanced, and here we type our cron expression. So for example, simply if you have to run a bot every day at 12 p.m., then we directly mention like 0 0, and since it is like 12 p.m., we mention 12. Our field will be 12, and then it has to run for every day, every month. We can keep a question mark. So this will be like 12 p.m. every day. And this I'll be showing now. So we can restrict the number of working days, non-working days. Like if in your in particular organization, if you have a separate calendar, like your holidays are defined separately, then you can create your own calendar, and then you can mention the non-working days there, and then you can skip the bot for that particular non-working days. So we'll just add this, and then you can see like at what time this will be, and the next run will be. So I'll quickly add it. So yeah, it has been added. So if you see it, it will, the next run will be like at 12 p.m. and the next run will be in 20 hours. So since it is 9:17 and the 12 p.m. will be in next 20 hours. So that's how like we write the cron expression in UiPath. So as I said, so in order to add your own calendar as a non-working day restriction, you have to go to tenant, and then one second, have to go to settings, non-working days, and then here you can select you can create you can write your own name, and then you can select which are all days has to be treated as non-working days, and then you just save it, and you go back to my workspace, go to triggers, and select your own calendar. So these calendar based, I mean, if the bot has to run based on the first working day of that particular week, and that particular day is a holiday in your company, then you can select the calendar, and then you can mark it as a non-working day, so that the bot will skip that particular day, and then it goes to nearest next working day or previous working day. So that's how we schedule, I mean, we use cron expression in UiPath. And so the next will be like I'll show you a website where we can automatically create these cron expressions. That will be free formatter. So here you can if you feel like it is tough to write your own expression, then you can directly go to this web page. I'll try to keep this in the description box. You can go to here, and then you can firstly you can select at what time the bot has to run. For example, for example, every second, and every minute, every hour, and the day. If you have, if the bot has to run on nearest work day, nearest weekday of every first of the month, then you select this, and then month, every month, then any year, and then you can see you can see the expression for that particular fields which you have selected. So this will be your expression. You directly copy this and go here, and then you can directly paste it in cron expression field. If I update, it would run more often once per minute. Okay, I'll take someone else. So I've selected the calendar. It runs more than 1 for every second, so it has to be 0. So specific seconds, so this should work. That's how you paste, you copy, you can generate the cron expression as you like. And for example, if you have your own cron expression, for example, if we have a cron expression with which let's take an example with year, with a custom year. If the bot has to run on 10:15 a.m. every day during the year 2005, then we keep 0 second. Since we already saw, like if we keep star for second field, and it will throw an error, like the bot has to run on every second, so it has to be 0. So if it is 0, it will be like only one run, 0 second. It will be the trigger will be only at 0 second. So 0, 15. Since we have to run 10:15 a.m., so we'll keep minutes as 15, hours as 10, then star question mark, and then we have to run every day during the year 2005. So we mentioned 2005, and it will describe the expression. So you can get a quick description for that particular expression. And then if you have to select the next execution dates, then you can click on next execution dates. So since this date is already passed, it can't give you, so I can keep 2021. And these are the next days, next date time when the schedule triggers. So these are, you can quickly check your expression and you can validate yourself. So yeah, that's all from my side.
Krishna, we have a question from Jinesh.
Okay.
How to run bot on last date of month?
Last date of month. Okay. I'll share my screen again.
Okay.
So as I already told you, like last day month, if you have to create a scheduler for last day, there will be a special character called L. So firstly we select 0th second, 0th minute, 0th hour, since it is last day of the month, you can already select here. You can directly select, so it will create a character called L. So this L defines the last day of the month, and then month will be every month and year will be any year. So this will be your expression. So if I copy this here, describe the expression, you can see like at the starting of the day and the last day of the month every month. So yeah, so this is your expression. Okay, any other queries?
Can we create a cron expression for last 5 working days?
Okay, last 5 working days. Last 5 working days. You can mention the last Friday like that. I can mention the range, I guess. 1 second, let me try. Last day, last 5 days. If you have the dates, you can directly select here, like the day of the month. But if you don't know the exact range, you can take 5th of the day.
Actually, Prashant is asking last week of month.
Last week of the month, and the entire last week of the month.
Yes, yes.
Okay. you can run you can I mean if it is a schedule, then you can have one for every weekday of that last entire week. So that like you mentioned like so for example here L minus 5 will be end of 5 days before the end of the month. So if you keep like that, you can create 4 or 5 schedules, and you can mention the L minus 4, and this will be 4 days before end of the month. And similarly you can mention 3, like that you can create separate schedules, and then that will, so for each schedule there will be each time to trigger. So for example, if we have to run last 7 days of every month, then first we create a schedule with L minus 6, and this will be 6 days before month, and you create another expression with 5, and that will be 5 days before end of the month. So since for day of the month you can't mention more, or you can try like keeping comma. No, so this can't be done. So you can't mention every I mean commas for last days. You can create separate schedules, so that is possible, yeah. So just replace the digit from here with how many days you want, then and you can create your own expression. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah. Thank you, Krishna.
Okay, uh, that's all.
Yes, that's all.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Krishna.